Hello and welcome to Zero Cool Gaming, and today is my game review of Powerslave. Powerslave is a late 90s first-person shooter, and many people would call it a Doom clone. And I can understand why. The graphics are very similar to Doom or Heretic, Hexen, Quake. Very similar to those type of games, which are all late 90s first-person shooters. What makes this game unique? Well, lots of things. Where to start? Well, first off is this game is essentially a story, which for its time was unusual for most first-person shooters. It is also has pickups. These pickups, some of them are permanent upgrades. And other pickups are initial upgrades. What do I mean by that? Well, you can turn invisible. You can double your firepower. There's maps. There are secret dolls to be found that will permanently upgrade your artifacts. And there are onks to be found that will permanently upgrade your health. We'll start with the artifacts. Each artifact has a permanent effect that changes your character's essentially how they move and where they can move. The first artifact you'll get is a pair of sandals that allow you to do a high jump from the base game's normal jump. Then you'll get an artifact that allows you to glide down. In other words, when you do a high jump and then hold the jump button, you will slowly descend to the surface, allowing you to, in a sense, jump further or make it a further distance before you land on the ground. The next upgrade that you'll get after that is the mask of anyway. It's a mask that lets you breathe underwater. I can't remember the name of it. I'm sure it starts with an S. The mask allows you to, like I said, breathe underwater. The initial start of breathing underwater is less than a second. After you get the mask, I think that it raises to almost 10 seconds. It's quite a long time. You got like 7 breaths that you can take, and each breath is a few seconds long. Then you'll get a staff that opens and closes energy fields. I can only think of twice that this is actually used to get to secrets, but there is a couple of puzzles for secret finding in which the staff is used. Then you'll get a feather. And that feather allows you to hover, which means you'll jump up and just stay at whatever height you jumped up to. And then you can hover at that height wherever you'd like. What is the next artifact that you get? I think that's all. There's 6 artifacts in total. The sandals, staff, the headgear, the feather, oh, that's only 4. The mask, heck, I don't even remember all of them. That's pretty sad, Dave. You don't even remember all of the different artifacts. It doesn't matter anyway. There are 6 different artifacts in total. Then you have your onks. You start out with, let's say, 100 health. There's nothing that says 100% health or even 100 health in that respect. You just have a full health bar. Each onk gives you another health bar. So if you start the game at 100 health, if you get all the onks, you'll have 500% health. And how the game keeps that relative is in the beginning of the game, by the weakest enemies, you can be hit like 4 times before you're dead. At the end of the game, with 500% health, you can be hit like 4 times by the most powerful creatures at the end of the game before you're dead. So it's relatively the same across the board, no matter what position you are within the game. If you miss an Ankh, of course, you'll be a little weaker than you need to be for the next section, and you might need to go back through another level to get an Ankh that you missed, or that you literally couldn't get to because you didn't have the artifact you needed to do so. This game does have some backtracking, which would require you to do that. And then the last thing you get is the pieces to a transmitter. Now, the only thing that the pieces to the transmitter does is it slightly changes the end of the game. You either get a good ending or a bad ending. If you collected all the transmitter pieces, you get the good ending. If you didn't, you get what they call the bad ending. In truth, it's the same game either way. The only difference is the ending cutscenes and how the words play out. I enjoyed this game. I found it very interesting. There's only one difficulty level. It's designed well for that difficulty level. It's never too hard to beat. They don't ever give you a enemy that will just one hit you and done. That never happens in this game. I think it's fair. My favorite level in the entire game would be the Sunken Palace. I love the Sunken Palace because it had nothing to do with how quick you were to switch to the right weapon, or how accurate your aim was. Because aiming in this game really isn't, well, I should say it really doesn't need to be all that accurate. As long as you're in the general area of the enemy, the bullets will hit. There is an auto tracking or auto aim that occurs in this game, just like Doom. Doom has a kind of an auto tracking, auto aim thing that occurs. And as long as you have your weapon pointed in the general direction of the enemy you want to kill, normally the bullets will hit. This game is very similar in that respect. It does add a few other things, like you can look up and you can look down. That helps you for targeting enemies more accurately. And there are actually bosses in this game. As far as I can remember, there are a total of 4 bosses. And those bosses either are the in-game boss, or they're protecting different artifacts. Other times it's just a matter of solving the puzzles to get through the level to collect an artifact, or to collect a transmitter piece, or you're going to collect an Ankh. The last bit of secrets are your dolls. There are dolls hidden throughout the game on every single level, as far as I could tell. I never found all the dolls, but I did find like 16 of them, I believe, total, in the few times that I played this game. And truly, what they do is they permanently upgrade your artifacts. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the ones that I know are the mask, for one. Once you've collected 16 artifacts, you can go into the water and you have unlimited breathing ability. That's pretty cool. The other one, I believe, gives you freedom of movement, which means rather than hovering, you can literally start to hover and then move up or down, left, right, wherever you want to on the map. And that's a pretty cool little upgrade for finding all those little secrets. So I have no problem with that. Some levels have a couple of dolls on them. Like I said, I've never found all those dolls. Some of them are hidden very, very well, and hidden in places you would truly never think to look. But that makes the game fun, because there's always something that you can find. Some new little section to explore. Something else that you've noticed that you didn't notice in all of your other playthroughs. They did a really good job with this very old game And that's why I like Powerslave. In truth, I like Powerslave more than I do Doom. Even more than I did Quake. I played this one more than I did either of those. So yeah, that's Powerslave. One of the most interesting Doom clones I ever played. And it makes me sad that they don't make... Well, I take that back. They have started making games like this again. I haven't played any of the new ones, because I don't play new games, but they have started making games like this again. And I truly think that's a good thing. Because these are games that you can just literally lose yourself in. There is no, hidden agenda or propaganda inserted into it, or some, message they want to preach to you about. The gaming industry, entertainment in general, has just completely lost its way recently. It's more about, preaching a communist agenda or authoritarian beliefs than they are about just letting people enjoy a form of entertainment. I think that's going to destroy the industry, but what do I know? Maybe it won't. Anyway, that's my review of Powerslave, one of my favorite Doom clones that I've ever played. And I hope that one day you'll choose to play it yourself. It's a very fun game. It's a cool game. It has a lot to offer. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.